What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to kdjTV. It is therefore henceforth hitherto another Monday, and that means it's time for 10-Minute Mailbag. 10-Minute Mailbag is your MLB The Show series all about your questions. If you have questions, comment them down below. Like, subscribe, of course, as well. But your comments fuel this series. Every Monday, I take a look at the YouTube comments on the last week's video, and I go in depth to answer some of your pressing questions and hopefully give you guys some valuable answers along the way. This week, we've got some really good questions. I'm excited to talk about these things, so let's get right into it, not waste time, bingo bango, to the questions. All right, we're going to put 10 minutes on the clickety clock here, and we'll get going. All right, boys and girls, ready? 3, 2, 1, begin. Our first question, and I'm really excited for this one, is from Michael. How much do you value or do you put into defensive and speed attributes when selecting players for your God Squad? This is such a good question because there's no right or wrong answer, but I can certainly tell you what I value. When it comes to speed and defense, those two things are paramount in the outfield. Certainly in center field, where you can see Mickey Mantle has 99 speed and 99 fielding, plus a reaction of 95, which is very good at P5. But I value it in the corners, too. You can kind of get away with it in the corners if you want to have a slower person. I have Dylan Cruz playing left field, but if you wanted to play a Juan Soto or a Michael Brantley, I think it's fine. I think you need guys who at least have 50-something speed with good reaction, and hopefully a good arm to make up for some of their shortcomings in getting to the ball. But with Dylan Cruz, Mickey Mantle, and Ronald Acuna, there are very few balls that are getting into the gaps or they're falling for fluky hits. They've all got very strong arms. I'm a big fan of my current outfield alignment. Of course, Dylan Cruz is maybe not everybody's common left fielder. Sammy Sosa, Hank Aaron, maybe you've got Acuna in left and those aforementioned guys in right. Hopefully we get a player of the month, Cody Bellinger. That'll look really cool in left field for me. But right now, I appreciate the way my outfield plays defense. And now when you look at my infield, what do you see? Gold badge, diamond badge, and then Vladimir Guerrero's a silver. Here's the thing with the infield. I think your second and third baseman should be speedy and should have good gloves. You don't need 99 speed at both places. It just helps to have some speed because it helps with their range. Jose Ramirez's bat is so good that it makes up for the fact that he has no range. Even though he has good reaction and a good fielding rating at second base, he's so short, he can't get to anything. But he hits the hell out of the ball, so it's fine. At third base, listen, it's an offensive position anyway, and we all have Chipper Jones, so we're fine with his gold shield. I don't think you need much here. You can get away with silver. Now at first base, Vladimir Guerrero is very clearly my worst defensive player and my slowest. I don't like that I'm playing someone in my lineup who's base 37 speed. I try to look at 50 as my minimum threshold, if only because I don't like clogging up the bases. I like trying to go first to third. I like trying to score from second on a single. Vladimir Guerrero does not do either of those things. So, it's tough. He hits the cover off the ball, though, so that's why he's here. I will be actively looking for first base upgrades. Maybe that's Cody Bellinger there instead of left field. That's probably a waste of his defense, but whatever. But I like Vladimir Guerrero for now. Joe Mauer is my favorite catcher because he runs 77 speed. Adley Rutschman's got good speed too. And then Soto's 58 speed, 83 fielding, but as my DH, the fielding don't matter. Essentially what I'm getting at here is I value speed and fielding at just about every position. The way they've built cards this year, a lot of their great cards have both of those things anyway. You don't really have to stretch and look for it. But if I had my way, every single person on my team would have at least like 50 to 60 speed, obviously higher is better, and at least a gold badge. Because there are enough weird things that happen in this game, you don't need bronze and silver animations coming to get you and bite you in the ass in the field. So I hope that answers your question. That was a very good question. And then this next one is actually along the same lines, kind of, sort of. Do you ever feel overwhelmed? This is from Booth, by the way. Do you ever feel overwhelmed and obligated to use the best cards? I always want to use who I want, but I feel like my chances of winning sink if I do use who I actually want instead of the juggernauts. Use whoever the hell you want. Use whoever you're comfortable with that allows you to win games. If your favorite cards are cards that you, don't have success with or don't get wins with, like let's say you're trying to just use your favorite players, you have to balance that. It depends on what you want to get out of your gameplay experience. If you just want to kill some time and use maybe your favorite player is, I don't know, Luis Ariz. Maybe you're a Marlins fan. You're not necessarily good with the card, but you want to use Luis Ariz. Go ahead. Use him. Depends what you want to get out of your gameplay experience. If you're trying to win games, maybe we look to upgrade to a card that is a little more viable. I play this game a lot. Too much, you could argue. I have all of the meta cards that need to be had to put together the true God Squad, in quotes. That's not me puffing out my chest. That's not me bragging. Again, I've acknowledged the fact that I play this game way too damn much. I enjoy competing with these cards because I recognize that they're difficult to get, and I worked to get them, so I want to use them. That's why I use them. And of course, they're cracked. It helps that they're cracked. I'll acknowledge that. But I play God Squad videos with your teams every Friday. This week will be the second one. Whatever. We're starting to do it every Friday. Spoiler alert, I used a team this upcoming Friday that is not filled with meta cards. Good cards, decent cards, and shout out to the person whose team it is. And we faced Nolan Ryan on Hall of Fame, and we beat the shit out of Nolan Ryan on Hall of Fame. You don't need the best cards to be successful. It helps if you're good at the game, of course. That's part of it. It helps if you have a plan at the plate and you're patient. But you don't need the meta cards. Use whatever you like. Use whatever you're good with. Use your favorite homies. You make your own lineup decisions. One of the beautiful things about this content structure is that there are so many different cards to use and so many different ways to get so many different cards. Use who you like. Next question. Thank you for your question, Boof. From Alpha Predator. Do you think they should add 99 fan favorite cards, or should they only give 99s to players who deserve it? So, I think the game right now kind of toes that line where we get really quirky 99s, and then some guys don't necessarily deserve it and they get it. I think what a cool thing would be, because when I think of your concept here, I've talked about this forever ago. BR 99s. Like, we all have our favorite BR players. Me this year, it's Taylor Ward, or Brandon Lau, or Adalberto Mondesi, or, there's any number of guys who are like silver or gold demons that we rake with in BR, and we love them. I think some of those cards should get 99s, like true God 99s, but only be BR cards. I think it'd be cool if BR cards had like their own tier, or not their own tier, like their own subsection. Like they're not eligible anywhere else. You don't own them. It's not like it's something that goes in your binder. They're cards that just exist in BR drafts. Maybe they're kind of diamonds in the rough and they're hard to find. Maybe it's a program round, kind of like it's established now. But I like the idea of like, oh, let's go hunting for 99 Adalberto Mondesi, who's 125 everything. And if we get him, sick. That's super cool. If not, we'll just play with whatever cards we have. They're not exclusive. It's not like there's only one of them. It's not like only one person can ever get them. But they're exclusive to the mode in which they'd be best used in, or to where their live series cards became famous, or whatever word you want to use in. I like the idea of giving a ton of cards 99s, because I think everybody has their own type of swing that they do well with. Not every swing is suitable for every person. So if, theoretically speaking, let's say every single card you're staring at here on my team right now, which is a 99, you suck with all of them. Let's just say. You don't like any of their swings. Well, now we're kind of running out of options for good cards you could use. But if they have more 99s available, more people can have more success. This is not a real baseball game, folks. We don't need to gatekeep 99s in terms of which players can get one. I think every player should have a 99. I don't care. Let's all have fun with the cards we want to use. If you want to use 99 Jake Berger, 99 Jake Bowers, I don't know why I said two Jakes in a row, but if you want to use 99s of those guys, maybe we can get them. I don't know. I'm not literally saying let's give everybody who's got a 53 overall common a 99 card, but like, I'm fine with being liberal with who gets them. You know what I mean? So, Predator, thank you for your question. And Shane, you SOB. What do you do when getting gooder and praying to Ramon don't work? Tired of being a noob. Shane has had some ups and downs in this game. Lots of downs, mostly, because he gets very frustrated. So the number one rule, everybody, of when you're not hot at the game, take a breath, escape, do something else. Go outside, go hug your child, eat a snack. This game is very unforgiving, and you could be scorching hot one day and then ice cold for a week the next day. It's tough. The best thing you could do is not let it get in your head. Don't let it swim up there in your mind. Breathe, maybe hit a practice session, maybe stay out of ranked and go play events, because events, it's casual. There's no urgency necessarily to win games. There's no stress. Stay away from BR if you value your mental health in any capacity. But the best thing, I know Shane asked this question as a joke, but we're going to answer it seriously. Honestly, the best thing you could do is just not let it affect you. It's a video game. I know we all want to be good at everything we do, but it's a video game. Step away. Don't touch the game for a day or two. Come back in the future, and hopefully, you come at it with a fresh set of eyes. You don't have a headache. Your eyes aren't bleeding red, and you can be better at the game. That'll do it, everybody, for this 10-minute mailbag. We got to some really cool questions, lineup construction questions, content questions. That's why I'm a fan of this series. It gets to everything that I like to talk about. So if you have any questions ever, leave them in the comments of the previous 10-minute mailbag or this 10-minute mailbag, and we'll talk about them next week. All right? Happy grinding. I love you guys. Can't wait to talk about all the extreme content that's coming out at the end of this week. I'm stoked. See you next time.